Hey everyone. So today I wanted to talk about some things I like to see in Marvel Spider-Man 3 from Insomniac Games. After playing through the series so far, there are a few features and improvements that I think can make the next game even better. The first thing I like to see improved in Spider-Man 3 is Traversal. And honestly, I think they already made some pretty good improvements in this area. With the swinging being faster, the animations being smoother and more fluid, and there being more animations and tricks for Peter and Miles and more upgrades you can obtain and etc. I think there's a few more things they could do to take it to the next level. One thing I like to see them increase a little bit more is the swinging speed. Now, as I just said, it's already at a great level, like it already feels great. But I think they can increase it just a little bit longer. I mean, just a little bit higher. That way, it could just be more fun. Because I mean, going faster is always more fun, but not too fast to where it feels unplayable. So there's that. Another feature I like to see expanded on is the loop-de-loop mechanic. I'm glad that they put it in the game, but I'd love for that instead of just one, like how he performs the loop-de-loop and he goes around, he does 360 and then he likes to go the web. Instead of one, I like it doesn't have to be infinite because I think that's kind of redundant, but instead of just one, maybe to like 2 to 3, not 2, 3 to 4, maybe like of 360s around the web, and each loop increases your speed and the momentum you will get from that web. I think like a system like that, I think that would be really cool. And just like imagine with each swing and each loop you do, like your screen shakes more and more as you build, speed and momentum. So yeah. Another feature, not staying too long on the traversal, sorry, is dual web slinging. So like basically you press R2 and L2 in Peter or any other spider character, since there's Miles and Silk, they'll shoot out two webs from both of their hands, one web from their left hand and another from their right hand. Overall, they already have honestly the best traversal in gaming, so I don't think Insomniac needs to do too much or try to reinvent the wheel or anything. But a few additions like that can make the system that's already great even better. Another thing I like now to see is more interactive side contact. And honestly, we have to stop with the human stuff, as in not in the main story, because I think it serves a good purpose of showing the different capabilities of the characters. Because you spend so much time in Spider-Man, and then transitioning over to like a regular human. I think that offers some pretty good story dynamics. But the Haley side mission in Spider-Man 2, that's just awful, redundant, god awful. We don't need anything like that in the game. So I like to see more variety and more situations that feel unique over stuff like that. For example, imagine responding to stuff like someone falling from the top of a skyscraper, you rush into the scene before it's too late, as far as things like crimes and things you can do throughout the open world, something like that. A short, quick time gameplay sequence where, you have to dodge certain obstacles as you're falling through the sky to save this person, or things like dynamic world events like severe thunderstorms, strong winds, weather conditions that create certain rescue situations throughout the city that Spider-Man has to respond to, like maybe maybe a storm damages part of a building, causes a traffic accident, a tornado happens, etc. It doesn't have to be anything over the top, but having random events that can happen naturally throughout the world would make New York feel more alive and unpredictable. So, yeah. Another feature I like to see return is more traditional enemy-based system. Spider-Man 2 technically had enemy bases through the hunter builds, and the hideouts that you would get to after doing like 3 builds in the symbiote nest, which weren't really a hideout. It was just you go here and you fight the symbiotes for a few minutes. But I love to see Insomniac go back to something closer to what we had in the first game, where different enemy factions had different hideouts that you could do that had multiple waves of enemies that had different side and bonus objectives that would reward you and tokens that you could use to buy certain things in the game. I love to see them return back to that instead of the system we had in Spider-Man 2, with instead of just having that like implemented into the game and doing nothing else, they maybe have some type of boss each wave in the hideout, so it makes it a little bit more interesting and dynamic rather than just adding something back into the third game that we already had in previous establishments. But yeah, I love to see that expanded in Spider-Man 3. At the end of the day, I just want the open world to feel more alive, and Spider-Man world to have reasons to swing around the city, help people, stop criminals, and just doing the things that Spider-Man does. But and as for combat, honestly, they don't really have to do much more. Honestly, I would want them to bring some of the gadgets back, but the biggest addition that we don't have is wall combat. Spider-Man 2, honestly, that's the only thing that it doesn't have that I would really want. You know, taking inspiration from Web of Shadows. Spider-Man can stick to almost anything, so I'd love to see combat encounters where you can seamlessly continue combos while running along the side of a building, launch enemies into walls, or even fight entire groups of enemies while attached to a wall or vertical surfaces. And even have some enemy factions. I don't think every enemy should be able to do that, but certain enemy factions should be able to have a way to fight you on the wall, like have a way to stick on the wall as well. Like just have some in-universe reason as to why they can do that. Maybe they have some type of electromagnetism tech or something like that. But you know, stuff like that wall combat, I think that would be a perfect addition into the game for this series, just so it can make it that more interesting and dynamic. I'd also like to see more environmental interaction during fights. Spider-Man has like super strength, so I'd love for the game to reflect that more often, taking a bit more inspiration from Web of Shadows. I'd love for us to be able to like rip up a lamp post out of a ground, be able to fight criminals with it, not even just criminals but bosses as well, or pick up a car and throw it at someone. I'd love to be able to do things like that, you know, just stuff like that. I want to be able to use my environment more, and also like maybe web construct, instead of web constructs, what would be web constructs, since Peter has the anti-venom suit, just make them symbiote anti-venom web constructs, and they're white, so I guess the anti-venom suit is white, so I guess, yeah, web constructs. Yeah, I think that would be a pretty good addition as well. But either or would be fine. Like honestly, if they did wall combat without web constructs, that'd be cool. Or if they did web constructs and we didn't have wall combat, that'd be cool. Or both. Fine with either. But either or, I think the addition of these ideas would make a perfect addition to the game to make it stand alone from the previous establishments, and I think it would just make it that much more better of a game, and it would solidify it as the best superhero game of all time. And those have been my ideas, and if you guys have anything else you would like to hear, let me know in the comments. Like, what are your ideas, your opinions on the game, what you would like to see added, and yeah, thanks for watching.